Today, we're going to talk about AWS Config and why it's the ultimate tool for anyone who wants to slay their cloud game. And I know what you're thinking, config? That sounds so boring. But trust me, it's not. And if you think cloud computing is just for old dudes in suits, think again, because AWS Config is the hottest thing around, and it's going to change your cloud management game. So, let's get real. As women, we've got a lot on our plates. We're busy building our careers, trying to maintain a social life, and maybe even squeezing in a little self-care time. And the last thing we need is to worry about managing our cloud resources. That's where AWS Config comes in. It's like having a personal cloud assistant that keeps us on track, helps us stay secure, and maybe even saves us from a major cloud catastrophe. With AWS Config, we can track changes to our resources, make sure they're compliant with our company's policies, and even get real-time alerts when something goes wrong. And let's be real, we don't have time to constantly check on our cloud resources. We need a tool that can do it for us, and that's exactly what AWS Config does. And speaking of security, we all know how important it is to keep our data safe. With AWS Config, we can make sure all our resources are secure, from our EC2 instances to our S3 buckets. And we don't have to be experts in cloud security to do it. AWS Config can give us tips and tricks so we can keep the hackers at bay and focus on what we do best. Now, I know what you're thinking, but AWS Config sounds so serious. How can it be fun? Well, let me tell you, there's nothing more fun than being in control of your cloud resources. With AWS Config, we can customize our cloud environment to fit our unique needs, and that's empowering. And let's not forget about the peace of mind we get from knowing that AWS Config has our back. So, in conclusion, AWS Config is the ultimate tool for anyone who wants to slay her cloud game. It's like having a personal cloud assistant that helps us stay on top of our cloud resources, keeps us secure, and gives us the power to customize our environment. And if you're not using it yet, what are you waiting for? AWS Config is waiting for you, and it's ready to help you slay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the cloud.